Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new, then hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going through all my things I've watched during the month of October. I do this every single month and you guys seem to really enjoy these. If you are already a subscriber, you would have seen that I haven't uploaded in about a month. I didn't have the greatest month of October, which really sucks because obviously Halloween is like my favourite time of the year and I had a lot of ideas of things to film for this channel, but I just really wasn't in the right headspace and I had to look after myself before anything else. So that is what I did and I'm back. I'm sorry it's been so long, I'm sorry it's been a month, but that does mean I've watched a lot of TV during this time. I haven't just been sat around doing nothing. I've been working on some things that will hopefully, fingers crossed, be out as soon as possible for you guys. But anyway, we're gonna get straight on into it and talk about all the TV and films that we watched throughout the month of October. Because I wasn't having the best month ever, this did mean that I didn't watch pretty much any horror films, which really sucks because I was ready to get through like so many, but I just wanted to watch things that would, you know, cheer me up, make me smile, make me happy. As you can see by behind me, my favourite thing of the month and the thing I've been watching the most this month is Gilmore Girls. Now I've seen Gilmore Girls before, but it was like 4 years ago, so my memory's not that good. I wanted to watch it again. I saw everyone else watching it on Instagram and I was like, oh, that's a lovely cozy feel-good thing to watch. So I sat down and watched Gilmore Girls and I finished it today. I googled it to see how long it would actually take to watch the whole thing if you were just to sit down and not move, and it takes 4 days and 16 hours. So I've watched a lot of it and it says on average people take like 2.5 months to watch it. I watched it in less than a month. Don't know if I should think that's a problem. I think it might be. Not only have I watched Gilmore Girls, I've watched like 7 other TV shows as well. So you know, I've been busy watching TV. So Gilmore Girls is a little bit of everything program. We've got lovely chilled vibes throughout the whole thing of it, full of sarcasm, full of humour, warm and cozy and romance, and that there is just a lot to it. You grow to love the characters pretty much instantly. There's so many to love. It's about Lorelai and her daughter Rory, and she had Rory when she was really young, so they're a really close family, and it's about just following both of their lives, with Rory wanting to go to university and, sorry, college if you're American, and we're just following her love life, also her mum's love life, and the relationship with her whole family. It's just a really good show and I would highly recommend watching it, especially right now if you want to watch something really cozy. Now the next TV show that I actually finished watching at the very start of October was a TV program I've mentioned twice in these now because I just couldn't get into it, but oh my god, once you're into it, I absolutely fell in love with it, and that is Schitts Creek. If you watched the last videos where I spoke about this, I was just saying I can't really get into it. I'd finished season 1 and I just tried season 2 and I couldn't really get into it, but from season 3 onwards, I fully loved it. Definitely give it a go. I saw some of you commenting on my videos like, yeah, I couldn't really get into it either. Tell me if it's good. Trust me. Get through the first and second season and then it gets really good. Not the first and second season being bad, it just, I think it was a bit of a slow burner. The creator of Schitts Creek is David in the show, and I think probably he just got more and more comfortable throughout it, which is why the last few seasons were incredible. But I finished it, I absolutely love it, and I would really suggest sticking out, watching it. Moira is just something else. Another thing I watched at the start of October was Emily in Paris. I don't know if you remember, it was a hype for about a week because it was so short. I watched it in half a day and it was cheesy, to say the least. It was Lily Collins. I love Lily Collins, so I had to give it a watch. It was so bad, it was good. It was one of those programs, if you love a bit of cheese, if you love a bit of romance, definitely give it a go. It's about this girl, Emily, who is American and she goes to live in Paris to work for a magazine? I don't know what she's working for. I don't know what she's working for, but she ends up being like an influencer just because she goes to Paris, and it's so not real at all when it comes to the influencer world, which just made me laugh a lot because I'm watching it like, what am I watching? This is nothing like... But if you want to watch something really quick and easy and really bad that is good, then this is the thing for you. Going on to the other side of that, I watched The Haunting of Bly Manor. Now, I've been so excited for this for so long because obviously The Haunting of Hill House came out 2 years ago, I want to say, and I absolutely loved that. I love a bit of horror, and it's spooky but also not too spooky, I would say. The Haunting of Bly Manor wasn't as good as The Haunting of Hill House, personally. What I think. I kind of saw what was gonna happen from the get-go. I still enjoyed it, but it was a lot slower. I felt it dragged out a lot. The Haunting of Bly Manor is about this American girl coming to a huge mansion, which is Bly Manor, to look after these two kids that lost both their parents. There's ghosts and it's a little bit creepy and you don't really know what's going on, and yeah, there's a little bit of romance in there. It's just mainly a bit creepy, a bit spooky. And also, if you are scared of things and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do it, just look at the little girl and go, this is the voice of Peppa Pig, and then everything is no longer scary. Something me and my boyfriend have been watching is Misfits. Now, I've seen Misfits a few times before, but years and years ago, and my boyfriend had never seen it, and I was like, this is definitely your kind of humour, you're gonna really, really like this. So we watched it and he absolutely loved it. I loved it as well. I understood more of the jokes, because obviously the older you get, the more you understand all these inappropriate jokes that you don't get when you're like 13. But Misfits is about these people that are doing community service, and there's a storm and they all get hit by lightning, and they all get like superhero magical powers, and every episode is just another weird thing after another. It's very British humour. Robert Sheehan is in it, which is always a plus because I fancied him then and I still do now. If you're gonna watch it for anyone, watch it for him because his character is absolutely brilliant. But this is just a funny, weird, crazy, strange show, but it's absolutely brilliant. Definitely give it a watch. So something I've just started, and I've only got like 3 episodes left already, I know I watch things way too quickly, is Ratched. I'm really enjoying it. My boyfriend isn't too sure about it. He didn't really get into it, but I've really gotten into it. I really like it. So Ratched is about this nurse who has been taken, like the character's been taken from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Never read it, never seen it. Oh, if it's a film, I have no idea. But it's about this nurse Ratched, who wants to work at this certain place, and she tries to get in there, and I don't really want to say anything else because I feel like you kind of just need to watch it to know what's going on, because I don't want to spoil anything for you, obviously. The nurse is played by Sarah Paulson, which is always a good thing. It's also a Ryan Murphy TV show, so if you like American Horror Story, or you liked Hollywood, or you liked, I'm trying to think of all the things, maybe not Glee, I think Glee doesn't really fit under this one. If you like any of those kind of things, you'll most definitely like Ratched. It's a bit gruesome, it's funny, it's aesthetically pleasing to watch, and you've got some great actors in there. There's a lot of people that you'll probably recognise. I'm really enjoying it. I'm intrigued to see where it's gonna go. Now, the next 2 TV shows are a little bit different because they are real life, if you will. The first one being Taskmaster, which you've probably never heard of. I never did until very recently. If you watched She with a C on YouTube, she did a video about Taskmaster being on Channel 4. I watched her video and thought, this is ridiculous, I want to watch the programme. So we watched the programme when it came out, and me and Joey absolutely loved it. So we've been binge watching like all the seasons. I'm not even kidding. We've watched so many seasons of this show and it's ridiculous. It's so funny. If you want something to laugh at, this is the programme. So on Taskmaster, there is the 2 presenters, being Alex Horne and Greg. They have 5 comedians on every single season, and they all battle against each other to win this like gold head. It sounds ridiculous. It's gonna sound even more ridiculous the more I keep talking, but they just do really ridiculous, stupid tasks. Like, they'll be told you have to get this egg into a frying pan, but the frying pan is on like 2 levels down, but you can't throw it, so you have to try and come up with a different way of doing it. So they'll give them all these different things, and you can find cheat ways to do things, and it's just so funny because it's just so ridiculous. The favourite season of mine and Joey's is the one with James Acaster, because we love him. He's a really good comedian. What we did was go onto IMDb and had a look at what comedians are in each season, then chose from that. You know, comedians really do make it, and you want to make sure you pick the right one. So we've slowly been making our way through the seasons because we just find it really, really funny. And the last TV show of the month is something we started like 2 days ago because we just wanted something light on where there was no plot to follow. So we're watching Ink Master. If you've never heard of Ink Master, it's basically like the Great British Bake Off, the Sewing Bee, Project Runway, like all those type of shows, but with tattoo artists. I'm really liking it. It's fast paced, it's easy to watch. You don't really need to know a lot about tattooing. You can just watch it and go, oh, that's good, or oh, that's not very good. It's so easy to watch, and it's just a competition of people doing tattoos. Now, when it comes to films this month, I said in my last one I really wanted to watch a lot of horror films, but sadly, because I was feeling so down, I didn't want to watch anything too spooky or depressing because most horror films are quite depressing. I ended up only watching 2 on Halloween, which sucks, but it's fine. We watched On the Rocks, which was a very light-hearted film, which is exactly what we wanted to watch. It was about, I don't know the actress's name, but she's Anne Perkins from Parks and Rec, and her dad is Bill Murray. She thinks her husband is cheating on her, but she's not sure, so she talks to her dad about it, and they basically come together to try and stalk her husband. It's really silly, it's fun, it's light-hearted, and if you want something where you don't have to think all that much, then this is the film. It was actually really good, it was really enjoyable, and like I said, we only watched 2 horror films this month, so they are Halloween, the original Halloween. I had never seen it in my life, neither had my boyfriend, so we decided to sit down and watch it, and it was honestly fine. I'm not the biggest fan of your typical horror, but this was the horror, as in when you think of horror films and someone rings the phone and there's no one on the other end and they try and come into your house, and that kind of horror, the horror that you immediately think of, that is what Halloween was. It wasn't bad, but it was also quite old, especially for me. I'm 22, so it was really quite old for me, but it was good. But it wasn't my favourite thing. I wasn't scared by it, I wasn't fazed by it at all. It was just my classic horror, which is always nice sometimes. And the last thing I watched in the month of October, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say this right, Nocturne. It's an Amazon Prime original, which we were really intrigued about. We wanted to know what it was about because Sydney Sweeney was in it, and who doesn't love Sydney Sweeney? I know, I love Sydney Sweeney. I, again, really enjoyed it. I actually thought it was really good. My boyfriend kind of fell asleep halfway through because he was so tired. My opinion is better anyway. It was a little bit different when it comes to a horror film, which is always nice. You don't want the same storyline over and over again sometimes because that can get quite boring and quite predictable, whereas this was a little bit playing with your mind and really having to try and work out what's going on, which I really like. I love horror films like that. It was about this girl who is an incredible musician. She's got a twin sister who's also an incredible musician, and they're basically competing against each other with who is the best, and her twin sister always comes out the best. And she kind of signs herself up to Satan, and that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil it, obviously, but I'd definitely say give it a go. It was not scary at all, in my opinion. I didn't think it was scary at all. It was just a little bit psychological thriller and a tiny bit of gore, but not too much. But yeah, that was everything that I've watched in the month of October. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and tell me down below what your favourite thing you watched in the month of October was, because I love to know what I should watch next and what you guys have been loving. Also, give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you like these videos so I can keep updating you on what I've been watching, rather than once a year I can tell you pretty much every single month, which is great because I watch a lot of things, as you can clearly tell. And also hit the subscribe button because I upload quite a few times on this channel, and I'm coming back 2 times a week. I'm gonna be here, so don't worry, lots of content coming your way. Yeah, it's been nice to sit down and talk to you again. It's been a month and it's been too long, so thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon.